Something that's true for just about every single one of you is that you're going to have more failures, challenges, and stressful situations in your life than you are flat out successes. And this is totally normal. And you can choose to respond to it in two ways. You can try to avoid stuff so you don't actually have to experience that failure or those challenges or those stresses. The problem here is that you can't actually achieve anything. Life gets pretty boring pretty quickly. The alternative is to challenge yourself every single day. Each day, start at the bottom, keep building your way to the top. As the days, weeks, months, and years go on, you'll find yourself developing your skills and learning a whole lot more. And up here, it's definitely more stressful. But here's the thing, that stress is actually really, really good for you. You see, there's this myth that stress is bad for your brain, but stress is actually amazingly important for your brain. Check this out. Imagine this container, which is full of water, is the world, and the water is the stress that the world throws at you. And imagine if this container is your brain and your brain's capacity to deal with the stress. Now imagine if we bubble wrap that brain a little bit. Now, if we just pour a little bit of stress into our brain, if the world throws a little bit of stress, we can actually manage that okay. But as soon as the world throws more stress into our brain, we start to overflow. And the thing about that is that the world will always throw more stress at us. Even if we try to bubble wrap our brain, the world's going to throw stressful situations at us. And it's our ability to manage that, the thing that's really, really important here. But here's the thing I really want you to take from this. It's not about the amount of stress that the world throws at you. That's actually not the important thing. It's our ability to manage that stress when it comes. So basically what I'm saying is we need to get a bigger bucket. The bigger bucket we have, the more stress that we can tolerate. A bucket like this can tolerate a stack of stress. Really doesn't matter how much stress the world throws at us. This bucket is able to manage it because it's capable, resilient, and strong. The technical term that scientists use for growing your bucket or developing your brain's ability to tolerate and deal with stress is called an active compensatory mechanism. That's basically a fancy way of saying you've developed strategies to deal with the stress that the world throws at you. And we want plenty of stress in our brain. Not heaps and heaps, but plenty of stress, because what this does is develops our brain's capacity to connect those 86 billion neurons. And ultimately, as we said before, it's not about the amount of stress, but how big your bucket is. Bigger bucket means you can take plenty of stress. And the thing about plenty of stress is it also means plenty of learning. So what kind of things might you do to not grow your brain, to bubble wrap your brain and not allow your bucket to expand? Well, there's things like not trying as hard as you could, just in case you failed, or not taking on the challenge at all, just in case you fail at it or don't do as well as you expect. When I was a teenager, I used to skate a lot. And one of the things that I used to do that bubble wrapped my brain was I used to get to the skate park at about 6 a.m. in the morning. And there was no one there, not a soul to be seen. And my strategy was, well, if no one sees me mess up, then I can't be embarrassed. But then I started to think to myself, I'm physically losing sleep because of this. So I set myself the challenge. What I did is I went to the skate park in the middle of the school holidays, in the middle of the day, and it was packed with people. And most of those skaters were way better than me. And I tried to do tricks and I watched the other skaters go. And what I found is I learned 10 times more on that day than I did at 6 a.m. in the pitch black at the skate park by myself. Taking that challenge to mess up, to not look as good as I wanted to, actually helped to develop and grow my brain. It created stress, but that was good stress that helped me develop my tricks and all those other things. So if you bubble wrap your brain, you fail yourself in two ways. Firstly, you can't generate the amount of stress you need in order for your brain cells to connect and develop and maintain themselves. And secondly, bubble wrapping your brain and protecting yourself from failure just gets pretty boring after a little while. So instead, trade in this bubble wrap for a ladder. Start setting yourself some challenges. Start at the bottom and start working your way up. As you get further up, you're going to develop more stress. But the thing is, you're also going to have a bigger bucket because you've got more confidence and strategies to manage that stress along the way. And the easiest and best way to manage that stress is to take on those challenges and learn that you can do it and you can fail and nothing terrible happens. Stuff's actually pretty therapeutic to pop. I'm Dr. Dave. I'll see you next time around. We got any more of this stuff?